Okay. Back to the zipper pocket. Sorry about that, y'all. So I've got my two pieces. I've got my linings. I'm going to set right there for the moment. And I've got my exterior. So I'm going to start with one exterior here. Now, the biggest reason I plan on that I marked these is because I'm going to split it so that I can do them all at the same time. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on, okay, on each side of this. Mm-hmm. There's one. I don't know if I can do a whole channel of boy band music. It depends on if it depends on the shades that they decide to do. If it's a monochrome or what. Okay, so there we go. So I've got those set. I'm going to set up one side, one pocket at a time, because I don't want my zipper tape to get mixed up. So I have those marked. That's actually really good. And then I have the middle marked. Go on and go. Go. Just gonna nip it. If I have a non-printed zipper tape, I might not worry about centering it, but it's kind of also habit. So I'm gonna split my zipper. Start with one side. So I've got the right side part facing up. I'll peel off the paper backing. I'll find my midpoint. Your arms around me, holding me tight. And I'm just going to kind of go gently. So that's set. I'm going to go onto the other side. Don't worry about this heart of mine. All right. Yeah, by the way, Fat Rabbit orders will be going out Monday. I'm going to get everything set up. There's one that's going to be printing. Remember, anything that you order that's 3D printed is printed on order. So that means that I don't print it until it's ordered in, mainly because a lot of them are personalized. In fact, I need to email the latest person. They put a lot in the notes, so I want to make sure I got everything right. Okay, so then I'm going to line that up. Just walk away. Now, the way this method is, your lining will not line up from end to end, which is why you definitely need to mark your centers. So ignore me from earlier. Always just mark your centers when it comes to the zippers if you're sewing them in a seam that isn't going to be seen. Like I said, I really like this method. It creates a slip pocket and a zipper pocket all at once. So, so it's going to end up kind of like this. And your lining is shorter than this so that you have that little bit of extra sew through that isn't that extra space. I'm going to set this one aside while we get jiggy with it because the 90s. Oh, shoot, forgot to mark my center. With it. Okay, where's my other zipper? There it is. So right sides together. I'm going to find my mark. Getting jiggy with it. No. Getting jiggy with it. I like that kids think that they created memes. Y'all just gave it a name. What I did. Oh, yeah. Go. Go easy. Getting you with it. Getting you with it. Okay, so I've got those set up, right sides together onto their tape. If you don't want to use tape, you can baste it on. That's not a problem. That's it. Nice and easy since moved up like George and Wheezy. Okay. Yeah, I think turning on the air and upping the fan just a smidge has really helped. Like, I'm not feeling as nauseated. Like, I still kind of feel it in the back of my throat. And I've got a little bit of a headache. I've got a migraine coming on. I know that's going to be it. But mainly that's just going to be the storm. The pressure of the air changes and squeezes my head like a melon. All right, so I have both of those pockets set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew along as close to the zipper as I can get, which usually is about 1/4 inch. And that's another really good reason to do a 1/4 inch is because this zipper tape is so cute. I don't want to hide it. Come back to me, my drink. Oh God, we finished X-Men 97 and it's really good. But I will say every time Charles Xavier or Magneto says my X-Men, I literally get sick. Like, why? It just sounds so weirdly, grossly possessive. And yes, I know he said it in the comic books. That doesn't make it better. It just solidifies that somebody did not think this through. Here we go. I'm excited to see what next season's going to be like. All right, so we're pretty much listening to what I was listening to on the way back from dropping in. Oh, that's cool. It's a countdown thing, so. Now again, I'm making sure that I'm kind of tugging a little bit and straightening and keeping the zipper teeth straight, not the zipper tape. I'm not trying to move that at all or stretch that. Okay, I'm going to take the other one that I'm working on with my needle. I'm going to place that back in its spot. I'm going to do a few stitches. And then I'm going to come in here. Boop. Who's there to take your place? Like anytime you're straightening your zipper tape, you really should be using the teeth. They don't stretch. Now they will bend, so don't like pull it this way unless you're, of course, needing it to go that way at the end. But that will help you get a nice straight zipper all the way down. Okay, so I'm gonna move that up, move it a little out of the way, and then I'm gonna do this. The 90s tends to make me think of one of my best friends, James. And I don't know if I would have made it through high school if I hadn't have had him as a friend. I mean, I probably would have done a little bit better scholastically. There was literally one day when he's like, I don't think we're going to go to school. I'm like, oh, well, I've got a test, so that's fine. And literally grabbed the back of my backpack and was dragging me behind the bushes with a couple of our other friends so that the bus would drive by without us. You see, his dad worked in the little community that we lived in. So we would wait till the bus was gone, give it another 5 minutes, and then we would go out and sit at the curb and give it about 20 minutes. His dad would drive around because he worked there. And he's like, what are y'all doing? I don't know, Dad, waiting for the bus. Well, your mom's already at work and I can't take off to go take you, so I guess you're staying home today. And that day I was just sitting there. He's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I had a test. He's like, oh, your teacher will probably let you make it up. Just let me know if you need any help with that. I was like, okay. But I had a test. Listen, I wasn't fighting, okay? I really was not fighting. Because my high school was a 45-minute bus ride at least. And I'm not trying to say it was uphill both ways. But when you're allergic to orange blossoms, not oranges, just the orange blossoms, and you live in Florida and your 45-minute bus ride is past what feels like every grove in the freaking county, you dread school. All right, so we've got both of those sewn. As you can see, the outside is larger than the inside. See, it's an opposite TARDIS. So I'm just going to grab here and flip it. Again, I'm going to do one at a time. It's just easier that way now that I've got them both sewn in. Oop. So I'm using my seam roller to first press down the waterproof canvas lining. And then I'm going to scooch the lining out of the way. And all I'm pressing is one seam back behind it. So I'm just pressing, at this point, my waterproof canvas outside, so the green. That's going to make it much easier to top stitch it. And to get a nice straight top stitch too. Oh, I remember I changed the channel on this one. I don't mind UB40. I just don't care for this song so much. But, it's cool. It's fine. So now that I've got that nice and straight, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, my toes hit me something. Okay. Get that out of the way. I'm starting to hear this noise that feels like I might be close to the end of my bobbin. But The bobbin thread's not curling enough for me to be concerned, really, just yet. No, you, I say. Okay, so because what we're going to do, so I've got that one top stitched. Now I just need to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to push my zipper with the zipper facing down and make sure that all that seam allowance is behind the interior. So my black waterproof canvas. And then I'm going to use my seam roller to roll that. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but to the front now. Kind of making sure that my zipper's sitting nice. So finger press it first. And then I'm going to go along. And then I'm going to put them together. And I'm just using my nails to run along that zipper a little bit. And it doesn't fight you as much if you push the seams back and press it separately. I've even found that with a iron. Like if you're using fabric or something that you can iron. Like you can iron most waterproof canvases. You've just got to know if you can do the other side or not. How sensitive it is to heat as well. Yep. I'm really glad I picked the pink thread because it's showing up so nicely on this green. That's much better. Okay, good. I'm just really making sure I get liquid in me now. Okay, so now I have these. What I want to do is I'm going to feel where that seam allowance is, and I'm going to push it down. If you're doing the 3/8, you'll just kind of want to bump it against it. Just going to make sure it's even all the way across. That's interesting. The replay for the top 30, I think that's being played, is from 1991. I didn't catch what number they're on. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and go right across the top and top stitch that down. This is essentially creating the top of the slip pocket part. It's a bit of a thick seam and an uneven seam, so just be wary of that. It's the restaurant. Nothing will take away these blues. All right, so now I have the top of it. The way she has you do it in the instructions makes sense too. For some reason, this makes more sense to me. I don't know. Now, what I'm going to do, because I need to make sure everything lines up properly, because I've got to seal the back or the sides of this pocket. These gloomy fears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? You found every boy I see. All right, so I've clipped that mainly because I want to see how it's sitting. Say, girl, you better try to have fun no matter what you do. He's a fool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clip the inside lining, just the lining. So I'm going in here, and as it's sitting, I'm not shifting anything. I'm trying not to, at least. There we go. And I'm clipping that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this inside out. So I'm grabbing the bottom of the lining and I'm just going to give it a flip. Maybe. That's why I clipped it though, just so you know. Okay. All the flowers that you planted in the backyard. Sometimes it is easier to do this part if you've got the if you've at least pulled the zipper pull through once. But this works out well too. So it should sit. That's why you put the clips on there too, so that you wouldn't lose the orientation of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark 3/4. Actually, I'm going to do a half. I'm going to do a half mark on each side, and I'm going to sew that and then clip that in just a bit so that it's just a little bit less bulk. Okay. So what I'm going to do is on this side, on the left side, I'm going to start very high up, like I'm sewing up into the pocket itself. And I'm going to stitch up to that zipper part where we've got the zipper, but I'm not going to sew into the zipper at all or into this folded part right here. And then I'm going to turn it around. And this way you're not really having to back stitch, by the way, because you're just going right back over those stitches. And I'm just going to get rid of these loose threads. Pull that back. I need to go over my machine and pull off any stickers that are not keeping up with the Joneses here. Way up in the hills, I will buy you a new line. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Being careful just to go up to that zipper and not over it. Okay. So just making sure that the light on the camera is actually the light on the camera. That might help too. Okay, then I'm just going to trim that seam allowance about in half. So when I get here to where the zipper is, that's where I'm going to cut my piece. See? Okay. Now, you have this spot back here that feels like it's going to have that hole. That's going to be sealed up when we put the thing back together. So all you have to do now is, so we've got our closed pocket and our open pocket. I don't have the zipper. So I just grab the zipper and just pull it through just like that. Ta-da! Now all we need is a zipper pull, and that will be all set. What I'm going to do is when I put the zipper pull on is I'm going to pull it through and then put it back on so it'll sit in the middle and both sides will be sealed. So before I do that, we have to do it again. Okay. So we're going to pull this inside out. Press my seams. Get both my seams pressed. Make sure my zipper is nice and straight. I don't really wanna cry no more. On it tonight. I know this feels like an extra step, and to be very honest, it is. But it is an extra step that lets the next step I do a lot easier. Because I'm not going to be fighting to top stitch this down as nicely if I were to just skip that step. If you have a step that people look at you like, why are you doing that? That's a lot of extra work. They're like, well, it's a lot of extra, it's work that I feel is worth the step. Because that's fine. Because I used to be that person too. I used to watch some videos and go, why in the world are they doing that? That just seems like extra work. Well, it probably is. But so what? If you have a different way of doing it that works better for you, and I didn't say better way, I said a way that works better for you, then do it. Well, if you've got to mark your seams, mark your seams. Oh my God, did I luck out? Nope, I think I put my suit. Nope, I did. I lucked out. I actually put the suits right side up. Because I was about to put them on upside down over here. Thankfully, they look good upside down too. Alrighty. To the past, don't make sense in a way. Alrighty. Y'all have to understand, this is 1991, but I was 11 years old with these songs. So these are the ones that really got imparted into my brain the most. So I'm folding over that again. I'm making sure that everything's nice and even. I don't wanna cry no more. Sleep on it tonight. I'm for letting go. Don't wanna cry no more. Okay, let's see. Where are you? Really, stomach? What the hell was that all about? It just started growling. I've been craving a cheeseburger all day, and not like a good one either. Like, apparently, all I want is like a garbage burger, a fast food, really cheap cheeseburger. And I don't know what is wrong with me. Where do you go? All right, so I've got this lined up nicely. I'm going to go in here and fold that down enough so that I can get a clip in there. Unpredictable, in the end it's right. Hope you had the time of your life. Oh, see, that sounds good. There we go. The other problem is it means I'd have to leave the house to go get it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go back outside again. Because there's a chance that Aaron's going to be able to snag a truck just to come home in. And if he's able to do that, because he opens tomorrow, that means I ain't got to drive him to work either. Salad, French fries, and meat hot sauce. Oh, shit. See, that sounds really good. That sounds really, really good. See, the problem is I don't like hamburgers, really. So, and my husband loves this story. This is one of his favorite stories ever. When I worked at Orange Lake in the call center for the folks with condos and stuff, they one day I just poked my head over my cubicle. I'm like, Tommy. He's like, what? I'm like, I want a burger. He's like, what? I'm like, I want a cheeseburger. He's like, no, because I didn't have a car at that point. So I was at the mercy of if I could convince Tommy to drive us down to the Wendy's. I'm like, come on, I really, really, really want a burger. And then, a couple of other people were like, wow, that does sound good. Let's go get some burgers. And he's like, fine. I brought my lunch like a responsible adult, but sure, we'll go get a burger. So we go, we get food. We start driving back because we had to, inhale our food, of course. And all of a sudden, I see him look through the rearview mirror into the windows of my soul, and he goes, what did you order, Liz? I'm like, what? He's like, what did you order? I'm like, chicken sandwich? He's like, you sat there pestering me for an hour and a half, and you got other people on board because you had to have a cheeseburger. And what did you order? I'm like, chicken sandwich. He's like, I hate you so much right now. So it's like every time I say I want a burger, all I get is this side look from my husband. Really? Is that what you want? Or do I need to go get you a chicken sandwich? I'm like, I wanted a burger, and then I smelled the chicken and it smelled better. Oh my God, I don't think he spoke to me for the rest of the day. He was so mad. Because the problem is that it wasn't just that, it was the fact that I got other people on board, and that the one of the restaurants in the place actually did a really good chicken sandwich. But it was just the realization. I think I even remember seeing the moment when his eyes started to widen because he realized this crazy chick convinced him to go get cheeseburgers and then ordered a chicken sandwich. Oh my God, he was so mad at me, but it was hilarious. Like at one point he started just bringing me a random cheeseburger and he's like, you need to eat this. I'm like, I don't want to. What did you do to it? I'm scared. He's like, no, it's a chicken sandwich. I'm like, I'm sorry. I said I was sorry. Oh, it was a terrible job, but I loved the people I worked with. I really did. And that's like the worst part about having a crappy job sometimes is having really amazing people to work with, because then it's really hard to leave because you're like, nah, man, because my friend Desi would pick me up in the morning and we'd hit the tropical smoothie on our way. They knew exactly how to make my smoothie. Like they knew I didn't like a lot of sugar, so if the strawberries looked like really squishy that day, they knew to not put as much sugar in for me. I mean, come on. I had really amazing people to work with. And then I was just like, and then Aaron got an offer to work up here in Georgia. And I was like, I hate Florida. Let's go, please. What did you order, Liz? A chicken sandwich. I every once in a while still have dreams of doing that. Just crying and going, a chicken sandwich. I'm so sorry. But yeah. Kind of comes up every time we go to Wendy's. What do you want? Craving a cheeseburger. Are you sure? No, I'm going to get a chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich. He's like, of course you're going to get a damn chicken sandwich. I know you. Don't lie to me. I'm like, I know. Oh, how many of these did I grab? Probably more than I needed. Because I'm one zipper down now. Okay. Shut up, stomach. Good God, what is wrong with you? Here. Oh. I saw some trail mix. All right. Now I'm going to put on my zipper pull. There we go. Right. Why did I put it way the hell over here so I have to fight with the machine? Move y'all for a moment while I work with this. Okay, so I'm looking at my markings. I'm going to start to put the zipper tape in. So I hold my zipper pull with my middle finger or my ring finger so that it doesn't kind of like shift around too much. Oh, sometimes these pulls. Are you going to be a fighter? Come on. You're going to be a fighter, aren't you? Because I know it ain't the zipper tape. There we go. Nope. Got it on there, but come on. Sometimes it's the ends of the zipper. If the teeth get melted weird, there we go. So I pulled it all the way through. So now both sides are sealed up really well. Oh, thank you for the followers. I appreciate it. I'm almost at 1,700. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Holy crow. Okay. Yeah, see, I've got some weird fuzz there. But if you melt that one of the teeth, it'll fight you. Also helps if I put the zipper pull right side up. Okay. These pockets I definitely do recommend to anybody who wants to get just like really good at putting zipper pulls on. Come on. No, I see you're not matching up. There we go. Come on. Get on there. There you go. Okay, so now it's straight there in the middle, and that way I can sew without having to move it around. It's just easier to like move the zipper in and out, you know, flip it around and all of that, and have it somersault every which way if the zipper pull's not on. Now we'll get to see if it was the... There we go. See? It's just that edge. Also, the more of a 45-degree angle you put the zipper tape in, the better. I also just want to make sure it actually goes in between the those little pieces there. Yeah, there we go. See, lines up really nicely that way. Oh, that looks so cute. All right, look at that. Zipper pockets are done. Oh, one more cashew. All right, there we go. I'm like, wait, what was I doing next? Okay. We're definitely putting in a tag. Aquarius, happy birthday. I love you so much. Enjoy the little things. Okay. I think I still have some from Lauren and maybe Carolina Little Stitches. Let me put those in there for the moment. Okay. Okay. So I have little baby suits, or I have Finish What You Started Human. I'm going to use the little baby suits because I think I have a couple more of those and I think it'll look really adorable. Or should I do the Finish What You Started Human? Actually, I feel like this one matches the whole vibe of the bag, which is what the hell am I doing with my life? So I'm going to put one of those in there. And I think I might actually put this one step at a time. We made it. I don't like going overboard with the, I need to get some woven labels made with my logo. I don't have to give it up. It's a logo, not a let go. I'm gonna stop and I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think getting the air on and all of that, I am starting to feel much better. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually take this and I'm going to push down and across. See, I'm finding my center and I'm pushing down and then to the outside. This way it's going to sit right. And then see, you can kind of see where that is. That's the bottom of the bag. So this is out of the seam allowance. So it's not going to carry into the seam. Ooh, it is just barely off that seam allowance, to be honest. I really should cut that down to cut off an inch. Ooh. But I also put it up a little bit. It's out of the seam allowance of where we're going to be stitching it to the bag. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down, what, an inch? I'm going to do about 3/4 of an inch. And that's because sometimes if you put it up too high, you're going to run into the problem where they can't get their hand into the pocket because it's too high up. I hear you. I swear if you were on that table. Oh, good, you're not. Hey, buddy. No, no, no. We are not table kitties, are we? Come on. Come on. You can come onto this table. Come on. Come on. Hi. Hello. I know what you want, and you really don't need to be up on that table. Go lay in your box. He has a box from Wawak that he likes that's under the table. He used to lay in it all the time. So, I'm just making sure that this is on here really nicely. That's a little low. That's a little high. So, it's all coarse and I will not be a part of it. Yeah, it's even. That's all that matters. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is make sure that everything's sitting nice and flat. I'm going to find it somewhere. There it is. So here is my little sewing blurbs. I think I'm going to end up with 3/8 anyways, which I need to mark on there. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the mark on here that says 3/8. And I'm using that to help put my tag in so that I know that when I sew that 3/8, I'll be able to see the whole tag without any problem. The zipper tape has a matching webbing and a matching binding ribbon from Fat Rabbit Supplies. I love this. It's so pretty. They're so cute. The little Notice Me Senpai one. Senpai noticed that one. Okay, I got those. Put that right here. And quickly mark these so that I'm just marking my seam allowance on there so that all I have to do is follow that little line. So these are strips that are 2 inches wide by the length, by a little bit longer than the length of the bag, than the height of the bag, I mean. And this method is done from the Carlotta and the Catalina. She has wonderful instructions for card slots in there. I just don't add card slots to large bags because I figure if it's a large enough bag to fit a wallet, most folks are going to have a wallet. Custom orders, of course, if that's what you want, all you have to do is say so. I'll add them in. That's not a problem. Oh, Anytime, but you gotta call me. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first I gotta push that down. Go. So I've pressed that seam. No one to squeeze me. They might take away my life. No one to squeeze me. Take away my life. So I base the measurements off of everything in the from the Carlotta for pocket size, so that I knew that it was going to be large enough. And then all I did was change the size, the height of the back, so that it would be tall enough for the back. Okay. Now, before I do anything else, because I usually forget to do this, I'm going to quickly baste or top stitch, really, the bottom of the pocket to the lining. This will seal up the slip pocket part. If you forget, it's not a hard thing to fix as long as you haven't put the bag together. But if you put the sides on and you're like, oh crap, I forgot, like I do. Actually, usually that's a son of a again for me. All you do is just top stitch down your sides and then just top stitch through this. It's really not that difficult of a fix. Okay. Just one reason why I should stay. Okay, so now that part's done. Now I'm going to try to do this right. I'm going to go ahead and just go a little past the bottom. Now I'm also making sure that with this one, especially one of these, that I'm lining it up with the back, with the actual lining piece, and not with the pocket, because one of the pockets is a little large, is a little wider. Okay, so I'm making sure that my mark is against the thing, against the edge. And I usually do cut these a little bit big, like 2 inches is probably going to be a little wide, but I'd rather have that width than it not be wide enough. That is what you are coming from. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to set up my other one. We could rely on each other. One to another. And one thing you'll definitely want to do is when you're sewing this, is make sure that when you're going over your zipper tape that it's not pushing in either direction, that you're holding that nice and in its place. So what I usually do is I put a nail, or you can put like your screwdriver against the top, against the zipper tape that's most facing you, the teeth. And that way, when the foot goes over, you're pushing against its pushing, and it won't askew your zipper tape. Another place we could rely on each other. Corner of the world. Okay, come on. I'm just putting a clip up here where I know it's going to try to askew itself. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up those sides on the line that I drew. Now, this shouldn't be too thick because your zipper lining isn't in the seam. It's right outside of it. Make sure if you have overhang that where your back stitches are not where you're going to cut out. So like I have overhang here. So when I backstitch, I need to backstitch before the end, not at this part. So when I'm cutting it, that's going to loosen. So sometimes I go a couple of stitches in and then backstitch. Oh, that's great. Okay, so when I come up to my zipper, I'm putting my nail against the zipper teeth that are closest to me. And I'm just pushing a little bit as I feel the teeth try to push it a little bit. Sometimes it's not too bad. And sometimes the zipper or the sewing foot is really just pushing them. And that's when you get an askewed zipper. Now, before I go any further, I take a quick look. Yep, that is good placement for my tag. Fantastic. Okay. I need a good 80s movie, y'all. Because I suddenly have like the urge to watch something like Karate Kid, like, you know, old school Karate Kid. The OG. But I also have the urge to go back and start Bridgerton over again, so. Just trying to clean up my clips as I go. It bothers me when they're all over the place. Mainly because I end up like throwing them all over the place on accident. There we go. Ooh, where are you from? Come here. Okay. Okay, so that part's done. Now, instead of cutting my threads, all I'm going to do is come over here and do some trimming before I top stitch. trying to get those out of the way. They're bothering me. Okay. Because you really don't want this in the seams. You don't want any of this in the seam if you can help it. Okay, so I'm going to cut one seam, but I'm going to leave the other one and cut it after I top stitch. I want to see if that makes it easier to top stitch or not. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's going to make it easier to top stitch if I cut it afterwards. So we will do the trimming afterwards. So all I'm doing right now is pushing this over. Okay. Because that already feels better. Top stitching through everything first and then trimming it down. So we're going to do that. Okay. So let me. Okay, so now I need to, and yes, that did. I think it top stitched nicer on the side that had the seam still in it. So I'm going to pull aside the front, so that I'm cutting away the seam, but not accidentally cutting away any part of the side piece. Okay, I'm just going to cut the zipper down, which I'm going to need to go back in. Carefully get that. Now, you don't have to cut it down all the way, the zipper. You can like leave a little bit. And that's probably what I'm going to do on these. It's just kind of. But you really do want to cut away a good chunk of this seam. Especially on the bottom. I'm going to try to kind of go in front of the zipper. That's not going to work. I'm going to get a good chunk of it from behind at least. There we go. Maybe. There. Oh, Lord have mercy. I feel like I'm making grass over here. Okay, there we go. Good night. Not cutting off the whole zipper is also good because it's easier to make sure that you re-singe those edges. Okay, so we have one inside and two insides that I think are just barely going to fit. So 2.5 might be better. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Arrgh. I need you, maybe? Oh, my Lord. Forgive me. I just stood up and my body's like, what is wrong with you? Oh. Usually I stand up a lot more here and there. Hello. I am making the Twilight Traveler from Scroll and Lavender. Anytime I do a live, I do put the if it's a pattern that I can share, then or I'm not like throwing stuff together like a mad scientist, then I do make sure to put the link for the pattern in my Bayou. Oh, they are my favorite. I absolutely love it because you get to have all of this extra pocket space without having to do a lot extra. Uh, and I really do like these pockets. These pockets were designed by, I learned them from Aura Rosa's patterns. You know what would be useful? Center markings. So I'm lining up my side panels. It's just one of my favorite ways to do the inside of a bound bag now. It's just, you're able to get all of that without having to do, without having to add bulk or do a smaller pocket. Oh, I highly recommend them. Give me a sign. Okay, so this is my half and half that I do, where I take the piece and I sew two rectangles together and then cut out the piece, and that's only because it's going to be covered up by a pocket. I do these with my Erica's from Aura Rosa, but see, you won't see it. It just takes away some of the bulk that having a vinyl pocket on the outside gives to this. Now we want to make sure, the reason I mentioned that is because I want to make sure this is the top, especially with my hardware, and that this is the bottom, goes with the bottom. Then you will be here, so give me a sign. All right, so I'm going to start pinning. Now this is the way I did this. I don't cut out like the sides, like I don't do that on the Aura Rosas either. I just do a rough cut, and that way, if something's a little off, I'm not going to be stuck with too short of a lining. Well, don't you know I still believe? And I try to match up the bottom part of it with the zipper hanging off, the zipper pull, so that I can kind of get it nice and flat there, and then I pull that up. And see, like, this is probably going to be a little taller, and that's kind of how I planned it. Just need to make sure that my centers match up. Okay. Now I'm going to put my front pocket on here as well. I like to baste everything like this together all at once so that I don't feel like I'm weakening the vinyl. All right. Honestly, I do rough cuts for the lining for just about every bound bag out there that I use. Now I do have to be careful because this is a 3D pocket. So I need it to line up, but I can't flatten it, which is why I put the lining on first, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be fighting with the lining, trying to get that nice and straight and tight, and then still have this pocket fighting me as well. I also tuck in the top of my pocket like a 1/16 of an inch in, so that it won't get tugged in too hard when it's bound. Because when you bind things, it pulls it in tighter. And if you've had trouble with your pockets not, being too, if you have trouble with the pockets being too tight, that would be why. All right, so my husband says it looks like a halter top. I mean, he's not wrong. But it is a 3D pocket, so that's why it's got that push out. Okay, so let me see. There's that one. Oh, here you are. The other side is going to be just so much easier because it's only got the one slip pocket on it. So I still need to mark my centers. Trying to think if I'd be able to do something like these pockets on the Erica. Because I really do like them. Thank you. I think it's adorable. I love it. And literally, I like the first post I saw about this bag. I was like, oh, I never knew love before this moment. Like, I know it sounds dramatic, but I mean, I just like went nuts and was like, oh, look, I can buy this pattern right away. Ooh, you are just tall enough. Nice. I'm only kind of like, I'm not like going overboard clipping this one because it's a flat piece. So it's going to be nice and easy to baste. So I usually, with any type of bound bag, if I can get away with it, I will rough cut the lining pieces because I figure I'm going to have an easier time if I just cut out, giant rectangles and squares. It's going to save me some time cutting, and it's going to save me a little bit of time as well, making sure that it fits exactly just right. So I just have a much easier time doing this, and then I just cut off the excess. So. Got that height just right, it looks like. I also go kind of like, so I do barely an eighth and I go under. I try to go under where the seam is and I cut at an angle to try to help get some of that bulk out. One of my favorite parts is seeing the outside panels all done and ready to go, which is why I do the zipper panel and gusset last. Because this kind of gives me a preview of what it's going to look like. It gives me a little piece of instant gratification. And it doesn't feel like I have so far to go. Now, it does look like I marked on this one at least the midpoints on all four sides because it's what I call a fat square. It's a little bit bigger this way than tall. So it's me. I'm a little bigger this way than tall. I am a chubby square. Oh, God, that bothers me. I'm just trying to get like all of this because the less that you have hanging off, the cleaner your edges are, the better you have a chance of, hi there, what are you doing? You have a better chance of making a nice clean seam to work with. So there's one panel all done. So we've got a pocket there, we've got a pocket there, we got another pocket here, we got pockets everywhere. It's Pocket City. Okay. So this is the first time I'm doing this kind of pocket on this type of bag. So it's a little like the Rosie with that 3D pocket. It's just a slightly different shape. Okay. So I'm going to push down right here at the top. You know what it is? My house still smells like French bread pizza because that's what I made us for lunch. I took these little tiny rolls because we had some leftover pizza sauce. So I just made us some little tiny, like they were like this big little hoagie rolls. And I will say, I make French bread pizza. I used to make it a lot. But never have I made French bread pizza and toasted the bread first. So either I'm just not that smart or that's going to blow somebody else's mind too, because I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. So, and I did all of it in the air fryer. So I just spritzed it with some oil because I have one of those little oil spritzers. Remember, on 3D pockets, you don't want to smash it flat. You kind of want to squeeze it. Oh, shut up, Carol. That sounds amazing. Oh, I love Texas toast, garlic bread. Oh, yeah, there's a little drool. Literally just had pizza. If I suggest pizza for dinner tonight, I think he will flip a table. It was bad enough on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday we had a pizza from Sam's, and then I made French bread pizza. Last night we did, we mimicked Publix's chicken tender subs. I just use these Southern chicken nuggets from Sam's. I love I love these chicken nuggets because they taste kind of like Chick-fil-A ones. Come on. So I'm pushing up because I want it to meet the edge of this of my my panel. But again, you don't want to squish it down. You're not having that spread. You're having it pull in a little bit, actually. I'm also making sure that with my my screwdriver that I'm not digging too far outside of my seam allowance because I almost ruined a bag doing that. Because I went to dig and I realized I was about to dig through the vinyl. I'm like, cramp. I might be taping down this dang hardware though, because it likes to flop around. Okay. The best thing about slip pockets in a bound bag is they should not be being, you shouldn't be able to pull it out because of the fact that you have like 20,000 times you've sewn through it at different seams, or the way I do it at least is different seams. Because I do a tack down seam and then I do a true seam allowance. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna chop this off. Being careful that when I get closer to the top, because I pull in that slip pocket a little bit, I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally cutting the panel and pretty much, you know, making it a moot point that I did that. Really? I try not to do the same seam allowance too many times because I really don't want to weaken the, I don't want to weaken my vinyl in that. And if you keep sewing over the same spots, then you're just perforating it, which is why I do a shorter seam allowance to get everything pulled together. And then I do my true seam allowance so that there's two stitch lines just like that. Just like that. Wax on, wax off. Okay. There we go. See, I should have posted that a little bit shorter because it's going to pull a little bit. But it actually might push it out some. We'll see. We'll see how that works. But I'm not going to lie. This is stinking cute. Why are they playing Pokemon? So I've got those panels done. I have a beautiful look at both of them. I'm also kind of making sure that they feel the same size, which they do, which is, you know, important, especially when you're doing something like I do where I piecemeal it together like that. Even more so, I love that it's right here is where the waterproof canvas starts and where the slip pocket starts. So this whole thing is the same thickness as this because I did that. So I am so thrilled with that. All righty. So those are to the side. Woo! And we celebrate with a cashew. My knee lift is causing a shadow on my leg. And for a second, I was like, where'd that bruise come from? Okay. Cashew and a couple cranberries. And my knee popping. Alrighty. Oh. I need my zipper panels. I know I'm going to need those. Cracker Jacks, where'd they go? And now I get to go, where did the fairies put something now? Because I'm missing a couple cuts of webbing. So let's see if I can find them or if I'm going to have to, or if I'm going to have to cut. Yeah, just new ones or not. So there are my handles. Put the zipper tape right there. Binding tape can go in the drawer now. They're not in those drawers. Y'all gonna make me cut more freaking webbing just because you decided it would be funny. All right. I'm going to check one more area. Oh, Mother of God. Really should be wearing that. Stay. Okay. I do not see them. So that means we're cutting more webbing. I'm not going to play this game with the fairies. Okay. I might have a piece that I can go ahead and just use. Nice. Okay. All right, let me see how big this piece is. Because now I got to figure out what I got to cut. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to clean up everything after this project to get the wallets done. And I'm going to find those pieces of webbing. I'm going to shake my fist in the air at the fairies because, oh, that's better. We've lost along the way. Okay. I'm going to need the instructions anyways, because even though it's a zipper panel and shouldn't be too difficult, I know I'm going to need the placement. Actually, I think this is a really good length of piece, that scrap. So I'm just going to do 2 new pieces. It makes me so mad. I can't believe those just disappeared. I know they didn't just disappear. Disappeared. Has anybody else seen Spies in Disguise? I love that movie. The one where they turn Will Smith into a pigeon. He was not a happy pigeon. So cute, though. Pigeons. You love me. So sleep. Oh, good God, I might have to take some Tylenol. Okay. All right. So those are set because I'm going to need those. Inside, but my heart's not free. And please. There we go. Okay. God, see, this is another one of those songs, this boy band songs that make me want to watch Josie and the Pussycats because I freaking love DiGiorno. DiGiorno. There it is, not DiGiorno. That's a completely different thing. All right, so good. You're done charging. Oh, you're gonna have to forgive me. My head is starting to not be kind. Okay, so got our panels done. That's very neat. So he puts on here that the strap extenders help to be able to allow a large zipper opening, but your bag not doing that weird floppy thing. So the straps actually attach a little higher, so giving you a nice big zipper opening. That's a big zipper opening. And then I'm going to have to figure, oh, my heel hit the foot. Alrighty. Okay. So I need the front exterior zipper panel and lining. When working with waterproof canvas, you usually want your zipper panel lining to be a little longer, a little wider. That does help with any shrinkage because sometimes it doesn't want to lay back the way fabric does. Mm-hmm. Then back exterior panel and lining. I have my gusset over there, my bottom gusset in that. Zipper, check. Zipper pulls. I have these cute little O-ring ones. I love on a bag when I can just snag my nail on the zipper pull and just kind of open it. Okay. Strap extenders. That's what these are. Oh, and I need D-rings. Ow. What did I... Did I put feet on this bag? There you are. Yep. Oh. Okay. So I need 2 D-rings. And then the strap connectors. That's these. Okay. Bear with me. I'm going to actually read the instructions. Take front panel, zipper, line up centers, base together. I use tape instead. Okay. She's got it in bold letters. Attach your zipper pulls now. Okay. So we're going to get to that part. And then I'll go back to the instructions. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start preparing my zipper panels. Because past Liz was not thinking about that apparently for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to mark my centers. Now, I split the zipper all the way on the zipper pockets. I have found that I have to do extra work to split the zipper on here. And if I'm doing one panel, it's not bad, but it's also not necessary. I feel a little bit more controlled when I just do it one at a time. Plus, honestly, that extra work ends up on the zipper anyways. Okay, so I'm getting my zipper in half. And then trying at least. Gonna mark my centers. Now, sometimes the way the zipper folds, it doesn't really give you a good half or like similar marking. So you want to pick whichever mark you like. And then I use a ruler to then go on the other side and mark it. This way I know it's actually in the middle because sometimes it likes to shift a little bit. Hey, Shay. Oh, sorry. I reached for the clip bowl because I thought it was my trail mix bowl. Oh, y'all would have seen me eat another clip. Okay. Then what I'm doing, I will mark that at the end, but I'm still going to mark at the very end across the teeth so that when I'm putting my zipper pull on, I'm confident that I'm putting it on so that the image on the zipper tape still matches up. Okay, so that part is done. Now I'm going to put a little bit, I'm putting 1/8 inch double-sided tape. Now, marking that one and putting it aside. I'm not going to lie. As much as I'm like having to fix and do different things to this bag, I am so tempted to keep this one. I am working on the Twilight Traveler by Scroll and Lavender. It is, still got heat tape on here. It is a very adorable bag. It is a bound bag. It's kind of a square shape. I call it a chubby square. Ends up being like 9.5 by 10.5, something like that. It's got a couple outside pockets. I did different pockets for the inside because I'm extra and bougie sometimes. I had to zhuzh it. I had to zhuzh up the middle in my way. There you are. Mm-hmm. So I'm attaching my zipper tape now to it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is before I add on or do anything else, I'm going to go and in the seam allowance, I'm going to mark where the zipper is ending. Of course they did heroes. This way, when I put it on the other side, I can match up the ending marks and the mid marks and get a zipper that doesn't like pull in one direction or gets wavy. Heroes. One day. I'm on the gusset part of this, and it has been a ride. I will tell you that right now. It has been quite the ride. Like, holy crow. Everything. But, I mean, the best part about it, though, I will say, is that I caught the mistakes. So, I didn't put on the pocket which was great because I would have had to take it off to put on the straps. And though I did set it up for a zipper pocket on one side, I was still able to do a flat pocket and it looks great. I wonder if that's supposed to be a little 3D too. You know what could have answered that question? Reading the pattern. So I'm sewing at 1/4 of an inch. She has it at 3/8 with a zipper foot. I don't change my foot, and I like 1/4 inch on my zipper tape. I like it because I like being able to see the pretty zipper tape I'm using. Feels egregious to not be able to see my pretty zipper tape. See, now I have to know. Because I was like, why was she having you mark it if... Okay, place needed. Oh, okay. That's really not marking it. That's just so it'll stay. Okay. Okay, I'm good. But if I made the bag a little, or that pocket a little wider, I could push it into those lines and effectively make it a little 3D. I will have to remember that. I probably won't, but that's okay. Alrighty. That's so crazy. I need to find American Dad fans because I'm a huge American Dad fan, and I know I quote it a lot, and I need somebody else to know what I'm saying. All right. Just like on my inner pockets, I'm pushing out one seam at a time. There we go. I'll have to check out a couple of seam rollers on Amazon for y'all. Because like I said, I won't put something on the list if I have not used it. It seems disingenuous. And if you don't like it because it's not a great product, I'm endorsing a product that is not great. So I don't like the thought of that. All right, let's try this. Keep himself out of trouble. So to combat the fact that I'm technically adding back in 1/8 of an inch to this, is there's a couple ways you could go about it. One of them is you could trim down your zipper panels. If you're doing 1/4 inch, you can trim it down to where it's not, it's 1/8 of an inch skinnier. That's not a problem. I used to do that. You could also increase your gusset if you want to do the math for that and add like 1/4 inch to your gusset. Or the way I do it now is I just trim it down. So I make the zipper panel and then I take it over and I make sure that I'm marking from the middle. I put my, so say it's supposed to be, say this is supposed to be 3 inches wide. You go from, you have your 3-inch mark at the middle of your zipper teeth and then trim off what's on the outside. It helps you not to undercut or overcut. And then you get a really nice, clean, straight zipper panel. Like my zipper panels have been just immaculate since I started doing that. All right. So as you can see, there's this little bit of wave going in. That's why we marked the ends and the middle. So The instructions said to pretty much we're just making a zipper panel at this point. She bastes her down. I'm using double-sided tape to pretty much baste. So I'm going to put that right in the middle. I'm going to give it about an inch on either side. Then I'm going to come over onto one end. I'm going to find that mark, and I'm going to put the edge of the zipper panel right before that mark, because I remember when I marked this that I marked it on the outside. And then I'm going to kind of loosen that back up, pull it to where it's going to run straight across, and then I just gently push it into place. And then I'm going to do the other side. I have found no matter what kind of zipper tape I use, that by doing this, I no longer have wavy zippers. Because it forces the zipper to sit the way it's sitting on the other side. That you used to. Oh, nothing at all. You're moving too fast. Moving too fast. All right. I love when they play the version of Chasing Waterfalls that has Left Eye's rap. I used to have it memorized. But then I had to learn how to mix drinks. I wish I was kidding. Let's see. So I still have the tape on here. I used some heat-resistant tape because I wanted to make sure that the stabilizer didn't move when I was pressing it down. I can definitely see myself making more of this bag. I really do like it. A couple more adjustments and it's going to be pretty much my dream bag. Because it's a nice change. Like some people don't like the shape of the Erica that much. Like I've had some customers who say that they would buy that bag because it had their fandom, but they didn't like the shape as much. And I was like, oh, okay, well, hit me up when you want a custom. I love seeing their faces when I say that. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, you want a different bag with the same fabric? Yeah, I've got more of that. Really? It's so cute when their eyes go wide and they're like, really? Tell me more. How one of a kind do you want to be? Because that's my brand, is that I never make the same bag exactly the same way twice. I had a mom reach out to me saying that she was wanting to get her twins something. And I said, well, I suggested a gift card to my stuff. And then I would let her know if anything else was extra. And she was like, oh, well, I always give them the same exact thing. And I was like, well, I refuse to make the same exact thing twice. And thankfully, her girls were already at that age where, I don't know why, but, you know, people think twins want to wear the exact same thing all their lives. Not all twins do. The twins I babysat didn't. The twin I dated didn't. And these twins did not. I'm going to say something about Ellen Tudyk. Which was a good thing because she came back to me and was like, okay, well, they actually really do want this bag, but they want it in, one wants it in this color and one wants it in this color, but the same fandom. I'm like, that I can do. That is not a problem. There is nothing wrong with telling somebody that that's not your brand. If it's not your brand, it's not your brand. If it's not something you feel comfortable doing or you want to do, you can say no. And if they give you too much fight back, they're not the customer for you. And believe me, when you're first starting out, that is a hard thing to do. There are so many bags that I ended up making at one point in the beginning when I first started this that I would definitely not make now, or even try to make. I would let them know, nope, that's let me find you somebody who will do that for you, because I won't. I would do anything for a custom bag, but I won't do that type of moment. Plus, at that point, if I'm making you a custom bag, do you really want the same exact thing as somebody else? I'm not Loungefly. Come on, there we go. All right, so we have a zipper panel. Yay! Oh, this is a nice looking zipper panel. Okay, so let me show you real quick. Let me pull out the gusset, because you'll be able to see that this gusset is not the same length. Like if I line it up with one side, it's definitely wider. And I bet you anything, it's 1/4 to 3/8 too big. Let me see. Let me see if I would have won that bet. I actually would have lost. It's only, oh no, it's a 1/4 inch. Yep, it is a 1/4 inch too wide. So bear with me for a moment. I'm going to go slicey. Oh Lord, have mercy. This is a freaking mess. What the hell is going on over here? I haven't had time in between projects. Hello. Okay, shoot. What was the... Okay. I have to look up the measurements because it's not an even gusset, so... Or an even panel. Come on. There we go. Oop, too far. In case you're just joining us, this is the bag we're working on right now, the Twilight Traveler. It is adorable. It is a chubby square. We all love a chubby square. It does come out to be 10 by 9.5 by 3 deep. And I think mine's going to be a smidge deeper. Ooh, beading bracelets. Those sound fun. Those sound like something you can just kind of sit and chill with. Like I need to finish Erin's Granny Square cardigan. Came out big. I side-eye him so hard. You know what? I don't know why I'm looking here. I should look at my notes. Where my notes at? No, maybe. Here we are. What did I cut it at? Okay. Bear with me for just a moment. Sometimes 1 3/4. That doesn't seem right. Okay. All right. Okay. Bam. I'm also working on a Granny Square cardigan for myself, and it's with this really plush yarn that I'm mad at Joann's because they got rid of it. And I'm going to have to figure out how to finish the project, but it's all these neon colors. I can't wait. I'll have it done by winter, probably. So here we go. Nice and straight. Everything is, as you can see, there's no waviness. Do I have it out somewhere? Oh my God. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm probably going to be adding boning to this. And I say probably, I'm going to. Okay. So, this is like what, polyester? Yeah, this is polyester binding. You technically can sew through it. It's got the holes to be able to. I don't recommend it too often. If you can avoid it, it's best not to. But I'm going to put this in the seam of the zipper panel to give it a little bit of extra oomph. I have just found that I like when it's got that little bit of bounce. I like Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like it to bounce. Okay, so I've got that taken care of. Now we're going to do, I don't know why, probably because of the videos. I need to pull those off of here. Where are you at? Okay, it says to attach zipper pulls now. That is a good idea. So, fancy, I was a monkey. I don't understand back music, but that's okay. It's fine. It's not for me. Alrighty. Okay, so we're gonna start with one side. So yeah, those are the ones I'm using. I really like these. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure my zipper is nice and straight still. Got my little markings. There we go. That should do it. Yep. Okay, so there's one zipper pull. And that's also why I make sure that this mark is pretty thick. I don't want to have to guess on a very light marking. And that's also why it's right there at the very end, so I don't feel bad about doing that. Nope, I feel like that's off. So hang on. Yeah, you're on there. Okay. It's choking on a splinter. Let's see what it looks like on this side. With the printed zippers, I'm super like particular, I guess is the word. There we go. Okay, what time is it anyways? Good Lord, it's after 6 o'clock. How is it after 6 o'clock? I better text him. There's messages. First couple of times I do one of these, a new bag, it does take me a little extra time, especially when I can't find anything else. Oh yeah. I'm like, who's talking about hydroplane? Oh, okay. Not okay, just checking in with the hubby. Yeah, see how it just, everything lays nicely. Oh, I'm telling you, once you do those extra steps of marking your zipper, your panels are not going to look the same ever again. Like, you're going to be in awe of what in the world you've done. Where did this come from? What magic is this? You know, type moments. It's witchcraft. So now I need the instructions. Not sure yet. Okay. Okay, zippers, pulls are attached. And then it says to baste around everything. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Then everything's not all floofy and... When I go over the zipper, I make sure to hold both sides of the panels so that they don't get askew as they're going underneath. I'll meet you in a moment. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put this boning in, and I'm kind of pushing my hand down the back of it, the lining part, because I want to make sure that it's not going out. Right. All right. Yeah, I would definitely make sure that if you use any type of boning, you can even use zip ties if it's a small enough bag or you have long enough zip ties. But I would definitely make sure that it's not in your seam allowance, because you also have to bend it back to... I'm so sorry. There's just an orange cat in the middle of my yard just chilling. Wait, now he's rolling around. It just caught me off guard. I'm like, what is that? I was also waiting to make sure that he was okay. Oh, yeah, they're definitely okay. You know, that's the same spot that most of the cats in this neighborhood end up rolling around on. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's where squirrels mate or some nonsense. I have no clue. Or maybe they're remarking each other's territory. They're like, no, man, this is my spot. And then, you know, in a couple of days, one of them will come back around. They're like, no, my spot. Okay, so like I said, what I do is I hold one panel secure with my with the hand that's pushing it, so the back panel with the hand that guides everything underneath, and then I make sure to steady the other panel. This way, when I'm going underneath it, it doesn't push it or askew it, and you still end up with a really nice straight panel. What's interesting is when I'm saying this stuff, I'm like, it's just stuff I do. Like, it's honestly, my hands just automatically go to that position. So see, it didn't like kind of push it one way and do that and eschew the zipper and that. Okay, but you can already see that it wants to stand up now. That's the boning in it. Okay, so I have these, which I'm going to do my method of basting them together. I'm going to put you aside for a moment. I'm just going to go straight up. On you. And then straight back. So I'm going just up the middle and then just back stitching back out. I feel it's secure. I like the way it secures the D-ring. And most of the time you don't even see it. But even if you do, it's just a line. So it's not like obnoxious or crooked. So as long as you're going up the middle, you're fine. So see, it's just, up the middle. Okay, so I've got those set, so that works. Got these where the D-ring's at. Okay, so basted. Get your prepared strap connectors, which are these. The reason she says prepared is because they're normally 2 by the length. I'm using webbing, so mine are prepared from the get-go. And then, so strap connectors, that's these. The extenders, that's these. And the 2 D-rings. What did he say? I should be home okay to get a truck, but wow. Sure. I think my iPad's hitting on my husband because I said either way, you're fine. But it put either way, you are a fine. I don't know what to do with. Oh, it's when I know my nails are starting to get too long. It's when the typing gets a little weird. Okay, I can't blame the nails. Every once in a while, I know predictive text is like, listen, I don't know what you're trying to spell, lady, but I cannot help you. That's fine. Okay, so it says take your strap extenders and apply about 2 inches of double-sided tape along the middle and centered. Okay. Okay, intriguing. This is what I needed. So I'm pretty much I'm making sure that both sides are the same on the webbing, so it's not a big deal either way. They're so cute. My little suit babies. And I designed the soots so that they would be peeking through. That's why I had to make sure that it was a sublimated, like the teeth weren't a metal finish, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like nickel hardware or anything, so that it could be used with any hardware. I have used this tape with all the hardwares, to be honest. It looks really amazing with rose gold. I will definitely say that. It looks absolutely amazing with rose gold hardware. Okay, so how big are these? 6.5, 3.25. Now, so brother, check it out now. Makes me think of She's All That. I think I watched too many movies. Nah, I don't know if that's a thing. Because I do read a lot as well. Okay, so I measured out half of it. I think I did this right. Let's see. Okay, loop one end of the extender around the rectangle strap connector and the other end around your D-ring. Okay, so yes. So I know the middle of it because I used my handy dandy ruler. I kept thinking tasty ruler. I'm like, I do not think that is very tasty right now. Okay. So I like the idea of the extender. I think this is a very smart idea because some bags you have to shorten the zipper so that the hang on. Hi, what you doing up there? Why don't you come to Mom? Uh-huh. Is this because I know this is what you really want? I just don't want you up there. There's too much stuff, huh? Why, Mr. Bond, I expect you to apply. Are you going to bite Mommy? You got that look in your eyes. You look like you were going to bite me. I know you're purring, but I feel your tail. Oh, yeah. You want to bite my nose? I love him so much. He's my little baby. Look at him. I mean, don't let this face fool you. He will bite my nose when he's done with my nonsense. Is he falling asleep? You are ridiculous. I love you, but go. I'm almost done. Come on, scoot. I don't want to run over your tail. No, you don't need on the table. Hang on. At least let me close the blade. I don't want you to step on it. How is this obsession now with getting onto my cutting table? And I'm like, I really don't want you up there. However, like I was saying, normally, so that it doesn't hang weird, you have to have a shorter zipper. But this is a nice long zipper panel for this size of a bag. So I'm extremely happy with that. And I thought it just looked cool. I didn't realize it actually had a purpose. Yeah, you can go now. Oh God, I don't know what we want to eat. I think he wants Chinese, which is fine. What are you playing with? Oh. I'm sorry, he was trying to clean his back and he ended up rolling over. What? Can you stay like that for 2 more seconds? I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all his stupidness. Can I flip it? No. There he is. In all his weird glory. He's just staying like that. And there's the yawn. He's just going to chill like that for a while. He's not stuck or nothing. See? He's good. I had to show y'all that. I don't normally move you. Once you're in there, you're in there. Oh, well, thank you, Shay. I always feel like I'm over-explaining. When I was younger and I worked at Disney, I was a trainer. I took on training. And I will say I didn't always have the patience I should, but I did learn a lot about how to show people things without telling them what to do, because I don't like being told what to do, and neither does my husband. He is definitely not a fan of that. He doesn't have a problem with authority. He has a problem with people he doesn't respect in authority. Because like he loves his boss. He absolutely adores his boss, which is good because, you know, it's always good when you like the person you work for, but he's still over there with his head leaning against the dang door. I really do not know what to do with him. I'm going to have to try to find that clip from today's live so I can post that. Okay, so we've got this piece here, and then the strap extender, which is folded in half. I really want to see if I can find his soldering iron because I want to try that, but I know I just saw it. Not the soldering iron, unfortunately. Let me see if I can close it just a little bit. Trying to look for stuff without shaking y'all all over the place. Oh, that's probably where it was. Come on. Oh, these drawers. Is it in here? Random a lot. Aha. Okay. I'm wondering if I can use my awl to poke the hole in. Yeah, I think I'll be able to use the awl. It's just going to be quite a pain in the butt. But that is the only caveat to using webbing, is that punchers don't like to go through it that often. So, all right. So I've done that. On the back side of the strap extender, place another strip of DST, double-sided tape, just enough to keep in place when attaching to the gusset from each fold of the extender. We're going to make marks. Oh, good. We're actually going to go ahead and mark our holes. That means, and then an overhang. Is that what you want? Yes. Okay. How far apart from the, oh, it says right there. Okay. Now, the nice thing is I think, oh, thank God. Okay, so, because it's something I don't like, is most people, when they have you put something on here, they have you lift it away from the lining. I don't like that, because the lining's going to give another layer of stability. And honestly, especially if you're putting something on the top of the zipper, you're really not going to see that. So it should be fine. Let me trim down this side. I'm not trimming down my zipper tape. I really like to leave it long on these edges into the seam, because it's not going to hinder anything, as well as the fact that it just gives an extra bit of stability. About an inch. This is almost just shy of 2 inches. Is it excessive? A little bit, but an inch and a half is not a bad idea. So zipper pulls are on. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. So I need tape. Yeah, she's trying to help you keep it out of the places that you're going to be riveting, because rivets really doesn't like to rivet. Most of the time, tools that make holes don't like to go through tape. Sorry, my mind went completely blank. So you kind of want it to be knows how to party. California knows how to party in the city. I want to look at how she has that. River rivet. Oh, I want to make a little frog that looks like a rivet. Rivet. Well, I just kind of repeat words. Sometimes it's so funny when you keep saying a word, and sometimes it just starts to sound like you're saying it wrong. All right. So she had, oh, okay. She doesn't stitch that. We don't stitch that down. We do not stitch that down. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stitch mine down. Let me double check. Backside of strap extender, place. Yeah. Mark. That's where your rivets go. Rivet. We're going to base the connector on the wider side. It keeps being west side. I'm like, no, it's not. What? Okay, place the connector and now remove tape. Make sure everything's in place. Now you're going to punch rivets. Okay, I don't like the thought of just rivets holding that, because it's not a large bag, but it's large enough that I think people can put bricks in this if they wanted to. And I've seen people put some heavy nonsense in their bags, and you're looking at one of those people. I'm the problem. Always. Oh, here it is. Optional. If you're concerned about strength, you can stitch a box between the rivet hardware before adding the rivets. I've been using my bag to carry heavy items and not have issues with just the rivets. I think for now I'm going to go ahead and stitch it on, because I'm also thinking of skipping rivets because I just don't feel like fighting with... I can't find my freaking crocodile, because that little bugger goes through just about everything, but we shall see. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and mark for the rivet. Can't help it now. All I hear is rivet. Dang it, Carol. I go to say rivet, and all I hear is rivet. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye. Rockabye. Okay, so I'm wondering. See if I can kind of. Oh, let me see if I even have the rivets to do this. Damn it, Carol. All I hear in my head now. I do have some rainbow ones. It's gonna be alright. Okay. So pretty much it looks like you're lining it up with your zipper tape. Okay. So I think I can do this without she does have you do a little bit of an overhang, which if you're going to use double-sided tape, it helps if you take the paper off. Which is always a good idea, especially in this seam. It's easy to do that. It's easy to have it hang out in the seam allowance. Okay. Okay, so that's it so far. Super stinking cute. I am going to do a slightly smaller piece of tape. So that I'm not fighting too hard with that rivet, hopefully. I'm easily entertained, so that doesn't help at all. Rockabye, rockabye. Boy, boy. It looks like your hardware should line up pretty much against your top stitching. Yeah, so see, what it's going to do is it's going to hang off here instead of way down here. And it's not going to interfere with the zipper like a normal one does. I need y'all to stop me from wanting to redo every bag I do. You know, what I really do like is the fact that I know that I'm now going to take this thought process into my bags from here on out. And I want the creator of this pattern to know that there are going to be times now when I'm going to be like, that should be good enough. I'm waiting for it to come back to make sure that y'all can hear me, because I never know. What do you mean no internet connection? I have an internet connection. There we go. But I do want her to know that there are now going to be bags where I'm going to be like, this is a technique that I learned from doing the Twilight Traveler by Scroll and Lavender. Because I know when I hear somebody go, oh, Liz taught me this, it just fills my heart with joy to know that, one, that I'm getting credit for something that I showed. Because when you're the middle child, you don't get credit for anything except the bad stuff. I wasn't even tall enough to be able to get to those jelly beans, and yet nobody believed me. Let's see if I can get these riveted. I'm going to try. But it's a very sharp awl, so that might be why it's doing so well. And I did find my skinnier rivets, so that might also help. Come here, you. But I do want to be quick because, oh God, come on. Do not know if this is going to work. I love webbing and I hate riveting it. It's such a pain in the butt. Come on. Why won't you work with me? Here's my... So I unzipped the zipper a little bit so that, oh, there we go. Okay, so the awl I think is helping. Yes. Victory is mine. I asked for so little. Just rivets to do what they need to do. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just counted. And then I'll get the... Okay, so what I'm doing, because I'm going through like 2 layers of webbing plus everything else underneath it. What I'm doing is I'm putting the awl there, and I'm going to create kind of a starter hole. It just takes a minute. And then quickly going back with my hole punch. Gotcha. Because the thing is what you have to understand is webbing is still a woven item. So the weave, if not cut, will slowly start to kind of move back around. Santa Goose down, we both started grooving. If you have some little like flyaways, there we go. If you have some fuzzies, then you can just, I'm just taking like, you can take a lighter. I just took my thread zapper and did that to them. Only have her little dancing frogs going rivet, 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 rivet. Oh, it might be close to dinner time. So I could zip that back up. But I will say unzipping it made it a lot easier to get my hole punch to it without having to fight that. So we're going to do that over here. Tired of this I'm tired of myself, tired of this town. Oh my, oh hell yeah. Put on that party dress. Frank, sing me a song. Can't stay long. Dream one more time. You know, some people, like, one of my friends likes to think that he's funny. He's not funny. But so when I start singing, sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, who sings this?" I'm like, "Right now, me." So if you've got some smart aleck in your life that likes to do that because they don't want you to sing along with the song, be like, "Right now, I am." But it was famously done by so and so. If you can clap back, you can get somebody to stop. It might take a few claps, though. It might take a damn applause with some people. That bar will be coming soon. Oh my, oh hell yeah. Gotta put on that party dress. Woke up alone. Back to the zone. Don't know if that went all the way through enough. Come on. I think it did. I don't think I went far enough with the all with it. Still managed to get that dang tape in there. There we go. I will definitely sing, once again, I will sing the praises of Lauren and this magical doohickey, because it is the first hand punch that has ever actually worked for me. Now, I say that while I'm trying to... What the hell is going on here? There we go. Good Lord. That was a pain in the butt. Okay. Sorry, little sprite. I don't mean to put this straight in your eye. He's going to be a sprite with an eye patch. Oh, I love this song. Come on. Bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl and the goods I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6.4. Come on. No. Come on. I was going to close up. Oh, no, that's not what I need to do. Like, literally, I am putting this rivet through this poor thing's eye. I feel really bad. Oh, snackies. There it goes. Twist. Come on. Just go through. Like I said, you have to kind of choose your battles. The webbing looks really cool, and it's easy to do, and it saves you time sewing because all you have to do is cut it. But boy, sometimes it can be a challenge to get these rivets through it. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl with the girls I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6.4. Come on, you. Okay, let me get these set. And then I think I'm going to have to bow out for the... Well, no, let me finish the gusset. There's one. That's interesting. A little bit taller. Wish I was a baller. Wish I had a girl with a good side collar. Rabbit in a hat with a bat. Oh, okay. All right, those can go back in. Lord have mercy. That was a feet and a half, it feels like. Okay, so that's taken care of. Now to add on our gusset. I have tape on this, so I'm not worried about it, but she does have you baste that. And I'm just going to double check and make sure that our gusset joining is the same. Yep. Everybody look what's going down. Make sure bottom gusset the same width as zipper panel. Trim bottom gusset if needed. Yeah, see, she has you trim the bottom gusset if you're, because there's a chance that your zipper panel isn't as wide. I like to make sure that my width is as much as I can get. Like I actually went there. This is I believe this is a wider gusset. Because I cut my gusset at 5 inches wide. So let's see. So take your completed zipper. Yeah. Okay, now clip the short end of the bottom exterior to one short end of the zipper and baste together. I don't worry about basting. Take the bottom gusset lining and clip right sides together with lining and sew together. Well, that's interesting. She does give you 2 seam allowances, which is something I would recommend depending on your materials. Like she says, a 1/2 inch for a pliable vinyl and canvas, or 3/8 if you have a very stiff vinyl. I have a stiff vinyl. So you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be doing, that smaller seam allowance. And the reason that she has that, and the reason that most people should, if you have a very stretchy vinyl, if it's very stretchy, honestly, you should also interface it so that that stretch doesn't turn into tearing. But if you have a vinyl that has a stretch to it or it's thin, then you don't need quite as long of a seam allowance because you don't need that extra. It's going to stretch really nicely. But you can go from making the same bag to having different results because of your material. So I know this is a stiff vinyl, but I'll tell you right now, this is a very stiff vinyl. This is an amazing vinyl. I love it, but it does not have, now it does have a little give. So it's going to stretch nicely, but I still think I'm going to want to do, what the hell is cowboy mouth? I still think I'm going to want to do the shorter seam allowance. Okay. Instead of sewing the top stitching across where the bottom panel meets, hang on. That's bottom gusset. Okay. I'm trying to understand what she's doing. I'm also trying not to use the pictures. Can you show me what it looks like in the front and the back of your tension? Oh, right now? Yeah. I don't really mess with my tension a lot. I just kind of ask Tiberius nicely not to mess it up. But there's the front tension. And then there's my back. You see my little corners are coming off because it's just a basting stitch. So I'm not worried. But you can see that on the zipper, it's definitely a little looser. And that's because it's only going through that zipper this time. I just keep my tension at, it looks like a 3, a little less than a 3. And that's because I generally work with vinyls. So I just anticipate thickness. All right, if you're concerned about whether the machine will go through the layers when you're going over this. Oh, okay. She's got a lot of really great tips in this pattern. Okay, it says instead of sewing the top stitching across where the bottom panel meets the zipper panel, baste both sides of the gusset. Do what now? Okay, sorry, I'm trying to understand. Yeah, because it's right there is what she's talking. Oh, baste then. Okay. Actually, that's a good tip. So what she's saying is that when you put it together, before you top stitch your bottom gusset and your main gusset, to baste around. And what I do is I do kind of that. As you top stitch after you baste the whole circle. So what I do is I put it together, I top stitch, and then I put it together, but I kind of clip it so that I can make sure that my waterproof canvas is sitting nicely, like really sitting nicely on this. I'm very, very happy with the zipper panel right now. But she's saying if you don't think that your machine can go through these layers, the gusset layers, and then this layer as well, you don't have to do this connector here. You can just put this part on, like without this this piece and the square ring. So like you could honestly just fold over a piece of webbing, rivet it, and then just have it go into the end. Or just fold it over like this and then just sew it so that you still have that extender up here. So she's got a lot of really good tips. Like they're most likely issues that she's had to deal with before. And that's where you get really good advice, is from people who have had to deal with it. Okay, so normally I do cut my gusset a smidge longer, because it doesn't like to sometimes stretch properly. If you have a water resistant canvas, you shouldn't have that issue too much. It should stretch pretty nicely. So I'm matching up the corners on one side and clipping that way. So one here, one here. And then I'm matching up the other corner, clipping there and clipping there. And then I'm going to take one side of this, and then I'm going to clip that by just undoing one clip at a time. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to sew that together, hopefully without knocking anything over. I'm trying to decide on what seam allowance I want to do, because this is the first time I'm doing this bag. Generally, just about any bound bag, I have to adjust the seam allowance, because for some reason they want it tight like a tiger. So I don't like that. So I'm going to do in the middle of what I'm thinking for the seam allowance. And I am including Orosa in that. I add and use a different seam allowance when putting together the bags. That's just because I don't want to fight with the, where are you going? I do not want to fight with those curves. Okay. We're going to be thick. I got an idea. Look you in the eye. Okay. I see. I put my clips on the side too. I put 2 here and 2 here. So, Yeah, see, here is my top tension. It's hard to see. I'm sorry, it's on the plaque of it. And you see, I did have a tiny loop, and that's where I was going up. So now I know on the other side, I'm going to use a hump jumper because it's letting me know just how thick my materials are. So I'm going to use my hump jumper to make sure that it doesn't do that when I top stitch. If you're worried about how your tension looks on the other side, you don't have to top stitch through your lining. I like to because it feels like it sits better. But I also know my machine and know how well it's going to take being top stitched. So let's see how well it does. Now, like I said, what she recommends is at this point to not top stitch, but to go ahead and put it together, to finish putting it together. And that it did I run out at the last moment? Did I win Bobbin Chicken? No, y'all. I won Bobbin Chicken. Because I was just thinking, I was like, man, this bobbin's got to run out soon. But now I got to check and make sure that it actually did finish stitching. I thought it did. What the hell am I doing here? I mean, I know it's a dumb thing to celebrate, but y'all so us know that it is definitely the truth. You celebrate when you win Bobbin Chicken, and I did. That is, yep. It is completely sewn. Backstitched and all. Shut the front door. Oh, God, that just blinded me. That might be why I have a bit of a headache. This mirror vinyl is amazing, but it is reflective AF. Okay, what I'm doing is just kind of rolling this up a little bit so it's a little more manageable. There we go. Okay. Also, if you're not sure about how well it's going to top stitch, you can go out a little bit. I'm not going to this time because I want to make sure I go over that connector. I thought that said wool. I was like, wool. Oh, woo. I haven't won Bobbin Chicken in a while. I'm not going to lie. The odds have not ever been in my favor for Bobbin Chicken lately. Let's see how that looks because I forgot to use my home jumper. I don't belong here. Don't belong here. Alrighty. Actually, that did really well. I am happy. So there's my top tension. That you can definitely see. And then here's my bottom tension. And again, I've got one tiny loop right here, but it pulled itself through mostly. So it's not even going to be noticeable. It almost looks like a back stitch. So I'm very happy with how my materials are acting. And he's got his little tail. My day. Make my day. Make my... I don't know why I'm sitting on the edge of my chair. You need to find like a cooling mat for my chair because, whoo. Or I might need to put a fan down there like I was doing with the heater. I was putting it under the table so it would keep my feet warm. Okay. Please to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Okay. Alrighty. see. So here we go. Brand new bobbin. So as I get to that strap, I'm going to use my hump jumper because I want to see how that helps. With going up that hill. Now, she does say on her domestic that she doesn't use a hump jumper. She just pushes on the foot. And I'm not going to recommend that. I don't think you should put your hands when you're trying to sew that close to the foot. The only reason I'm okay with where my hand is right now is because my foot is completely off the pedal and away from it. So they're really, unless there's a cat down there, there isn't a way that that's going to sew on me. But she's saying to push on your foot. Please do not do that. Okay. That is the one thing I will definitely highly disagree with. You should not be touching your sewing foot when you are sewing. Please do not do that. Ask me how I know. Unfortunately, I have sewn through nails and just barely not sewn through a finger. So I don't recommend that at all. No good. Definitely not a good idea. If you decide to take her up on that offer, that is all you. I wonder how the kitty cat's doing. Sorry, I'm seeing my neighbor, and I'm wondering how the cat's doing because I haven't seen Siren over here. Okay, so because what sometimes happens is when I'm doing the gusset, it feels like it's going to be too tight. Now, if it does come that your inside gusset is too tight, just make sure you top stitch your lining or your exterior without your lining. But that's why when you get used to how your materials feel and you get used to working with certain materials, you'll realize that there are some that stretch, some that don't. You're going to have to do a little extra give on that or add a little extra. It's all about the material itself. This is a very sturdy, this is from Cosmic Fabric Creations, the waterproof canvas is. The brighter green is water resistant canvas from Wonderground. The water resistance has a stretch. The waterproof does not have much of a stretch. But see, it feels like, oh God, there's a bump there. Like I'm going to have a bad day. The way this day's been going, this ain't going to stop me. But it's because it's not a flat object. It's a round one. So you kind of have to turn it a little bit and see, as soon as I did that, it started to lay properly. So that's what I do is I kind of clip baste it. Kind of fold that down a little bit. And now I'm going to baste this, top stitch this. Good God, what is wrong with me today? Words are just so hard. Words hard. I'm taking my vitamin B. Okay, so what I'm going to do is like I did underneath. I didn't even look to see if that helped or not, but we'll see. So I'm going to put my hump jumper up. You don't want to put it as you're going up the hill. You want to put it as you're prepping to go up the hill. You know, that same hill that you looked at and you're like, why am I doing this? There we go. Going downhill shouldn't be a problem. However, I'm going to help it a little bit. There we go. Ugh. There we go. and I'm down to 2 dots. This was a fully charged thing this morning. Was it fully charged, or did I just get it kind of charged? I think it was just kind of charged now that I think about it. Really? We're just going to pull the light out, huh? I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh, hang on. Okay. Here we go. Somehow I've started to slowly like sit on the edge of the chair. So I think I might order my kitty chair soon. We'll see. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is still on this side, I'm going to baste the sides. Yeah, see, whether you trim your zipper panel or you trim your gusset, this will create such a lovely, even gusset all the way around. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. There are some folks that do not think it's a good idea to sew one side one way and the other side the other way. I have not had any issues with that as much. Only if my gusset was already kind of wonky, or if I was fighting with a too short gusset lining. That's the only time I've really had any issues. And I've had to deal, and it was already an issue, to be honest. So sewing it in 2 different directions did not save it. But if you feel better doing that, then do that. Again, I'm not saying one way is better than the other. I'm not saying that it's better if you do or better if you don't. But if it works for you and you get a better product, then for you, it's better. Lord have mercy. It is after 7. How the hell did this happen? Okay, so I'm going to mark my centers, and then I'm going to have to pop off. I'm going to have to jump off. That seems... Alrighty, but I am very, very happy with how the gusset's going. I think I would have gotten this bag done sooner had I not had so many hiccups. Like, this has been a challenging bag. A new pattern. Decisions that were made at the cutting table that didn't work, so had to recut things. Things going missing, like my scissors. There you are. Having to find measurements. There we go. So right now I'm marking my centers. And I'm not going to lie, I'm very happy with this bag. With all the challenges, I'm still extremely happy with this bag. And I will see about finishing it Wednesday. And then maybe I'll go ahead and I'll cut out one of the bitty bug packs from Carolina little stitches that are coming out soon. That pattern's coming out soon and it's adorable. So I'll cut out another one. And if I finish the bag in a real quick time, I'll go ahead and do one of those real quick for y'all. Because all we have is assembly at this point. So, and this is where, if I have to stop for the sewing session, this is where I do like to stop. This is a perfect place for me, to me. This is a great place because all I'm going to have to do is put it together. But here's the gusset. So it's going to kind of sit like that. So I've got the gusset all done. We've got those lovely strap extenders. Brilliant idea, just so y'all know. Loving it. And then we've got our panels. So we've got our flap against the body panel. The back, I guess you can call it. with the handle connectors. This is why I had to pivot from a zipper pocket to this, mainly because if you put a zipper pocket here, it's just going to be too small. But I'm thinking of doing a sneaky slip pocket next time. I think that would be really cool. I have to look back over how to do that again. How that's cut out, I guess is what I should say. And then here's the front that we're going to have. Got my name tag on it. And it's a nice 3D pocket. So it's poofy. It's poofy. Fleece might not be a bad idea in this. But it's such, as you can see, it's such a stiff vinyl. Between that and this, these vinyls combined would give Captain Planet a moment of pause. So, and then on the inside, both of them have the same lining. They have a slip pocket and then the cute little zipper pocket with my little rabbit logo. So I'm very happy with how this bag is coming along. Do I wish it was already freaking done? Yes. Yes, I do. I wish it with all my freaking heart. However, them's the breaks. Sometimes a bag does not cooperate with you. I don't feel like the bag is fighting me. I feel like the universe is challenging me to remember my place when it comes to not reading patterns. Maybe soon I will remember that I like to read the pattern. Oh, okay, guys. All right, y'all. Everybody, guys, gals, non-binary pals, I'm going to go. I hope you have a great weekend. I will save this to finish off Wednesday morning. And I'll have a backup either to start a wallet or to do a little bitty bag because they're freaking adorable. Oh, hey, he's got a van. He's got a van. Yay. So, yeah, so I don't got to go get him, which is good because it's 7:30 and I should have already left. So I will see y'all Wednesday. I hope everybody has a good time. I will try to post a clip so that if you have any suggestions or patterns that you would like me to do, or if, hey, you just like to watch me stare into the void of nothingness for a minute, put that there too, because you never know. I never know anymore. Let me see if I can find my mouse. Turn that on. So, yeah, I hope everybody's weekend is enjoyable. I know summer has started for the kids. So goodbye to the tubes. Boop. And goodbye to you.